So we're getting this all primered up and getting it into some, getting some body work done, getting it ground out with the Dremel, and I'll show you some of the stuff I've done with the rust and kind of go from there. So it kind of turned out pretty cool. And we're going to get it in some paint and go from there. So let's take you over the bench and let's get started on this thing. Okay guys, so now we're going to start on the cab. So the cab, I ground this down. I may do the same effect on this here. I took a piece of foil, did the same thing. I burnished it down. And of course, you know, dummy me, I forgot to do that before I ground this down. So thankfully, I have another Mobius kit here. And I use that guy instead. So, brush out of the box. So thankfully I have that in stock because I forgot about that. So anyways, we're going to do this here. Same thing. We're going to get it all done up here and ready to go. So we're going to do just a few touches here. I'm going to grind this out a little bit in the fender, a little bit up here. I'm not going to get too crazy on the box or on the cab like the cab like that is. Probably lose the cab corners. Just common things I've always seen around here. And other than that, we'll just use rust effects on the edging and stuff. But I'm not going to go too heavy on the body itself. Just like I say, just a few pieces here and there. So I'm going to take the Dremel. We're going to egg a few pieces out. One main piece is the back cab corner. These are always notorious on all vehicles in Michigan. Cab corners are gone. So we are taking cab corner off, and I'm going to try to take it right flush with the door. So we got my door here. So I want to remove that. And then we're going to take a little bit right here out of the fender. Just a little bit right up in here. Not much. And maybe just a little bit here. That's all I'm going to do. Same as this side. Cab corner is going to disappear. About to there, into there, just gone. And then other than that, we're going to dent the... I'll take this off here too. We'll dent the hood up pretty good. So I'm thinking that the hood's going to be a different color, like we had to put a different hood on it once upon a time. I'm not sure. I might paint the hood. That might go red. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to get this cut up and I'll bring you back and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so we got that cut out. Got that nibbed out there. Cut the cab corners completely off. Left it straight at the door and nibbed myself a little bit here. So I'm going to do the same thing. Going to run my foil up inside there. And probably a little bit in the back cab corner. And I'll bring you back and show you when we're done with it. Okay guys, so I got the cab beat up. Did a pretty good job on this. So I got my foil in here. So I ground out the cab corners. I've got the foil in. Same here. So I just did my hot glue. My glue on there. Glued that in. And took the heat gun. I really distressed this here. I dented this really good. Put a dent in it here. And I got glue here. Not sure what that's all about. It's alright, we're going to paint it anyways. So, like I said, ground my cab corners out. So I'm going to do my wrinkle thing with the foil. Just give it that rusty crinkle look. I'm going to bust this up a little bit. Give it some weird texture of some sort. Like so. And that's not even so much of it's jagged, it's even if the metal's just crinkled. Tell you what, this foil really dulls these blades out in a hurry. So I kind of made the fender back to the rust. So I'm going to do the same thing, put a little glue on here, and we'll seal the deal. So this here, I can cut this out of here. That's a little excessive. I don't need all that. Keep just what matters, same as the back corner. We'll go big because I don't want to distress what we already did. And I can do the same here. This ain't really going to matter because you're not going to see any of this. But we can trim out some of it. Like so. Leave a little nasty spot there. Get rid of this. Okay, I'll put a little glue on here. Okay, so we're going to leave that like so. Basically just enough to hit the corners and the high spots. We'll hit it with some Bob Smith Industries here. Going heavy. Okay, we'll let that set for a minute. And we'll get this cleaned up and we'll get it ready for paint.
Okay guys, we'll get this ready for some primer. So as I can see by gluing that now that foil is hard as a rock. I mean, you gotta be still careful with it, but I can bump it now and it's not gonna change it because it's been basically glued. So that works pretty good doing that. I guess I missed a couple spots, but that's all right. So yeah, so we're gonna leave it like that. So we're gonna get our primer mixed up. So we are using Mr. Hobby 1500 Surfacer, the gray in color, and we're gonna get the shot. And like I said, I'm gonna two-tone. I'm gonna do red and white. So I'm gonna use, looks like we're gonna use Italian red. Okay, so we're gonna get some primer mixed up. Now, if you guys never use this primer, a little bit goes a long ways because the stuff is really thick. I usually mix it a little heavier than 50-50 because, like I say, it is pretty thick stuff. And you can use either thinner. You can use Mr.Color leveling thinner, or you can use the Tamiya. But we're going to use this here. This will work pretty good. Let's see, we'll mix it pretty heavy, or on the light side, I should say, because this does spray pretty thick. Okay, we'll get this with the paint booth and we'll get her sprayed up a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to spray this and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Alright guys, so we are primered up. Our rust is looking pretty good. So we got our door all beat up here. Cab corners are gone. So we got some rust popping through. So it's looking pretty good. So we got our box side done. So a mistake I did, and I tell you what, I would never ever do this again. And do not do this, anybody out there. I use this red Sharpie, right, to outline, like, okay, I want to cut it here, 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 here. Yeah, remove the Sharpie afterwards, because I tried primering over top of it, and that Sharpie just bled through, bled through, bled through. It probably wasn't dry, but yeah, horrible, horrible. So I notched some holes in here. This plastic is like super thick, so I'm going to really rust it up pretty good with some brown. Threw some dents in there along the way, as you've seen. So at this point, we're getting ready to paint it. So I'm taking my, I'm not sure if we're going to use railcar brown or rust, but I think I'm going to use this color because this is pretty good rust color. I'm going to spray just the top. I'm going to do the hood. So I have the hood sitting here, and I did do a little gash in the hood here and a little spot here, and I did some little chewing here, like it's like the hood's rusted a little bit in the corners. So the whole top is getting rail brown, so that way when I put the color on it, I can sand it down a little bit so I can get that rust effect. Then after that, we're going to come back, and this is going to be white on the bottom and red on top. I was going to do this in white. I'm not sure yet. I'm debating on it. Because if I do, I'll just spray the white and I'll just mask it. And I'm not even going to mask it for the red at the time. I'm just going to spray white. And what gets overspray on it, it's not a big deal because it's going to be lacquer. So I'm going to take this over the paint booth. I'll get this sprayed and I'll bring you back. Like I said, I'm not gonna show it spraying it. Like I say, it's nothing major. I'm just doing the top pieces, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll get this sprayed up, and I'll bring you right back. All right, guys. So we got our freight car brown painted on this, so it looks pretty good. Got that dried out. It's been sitting in the Susie Bake oven for a bit, so she's ready to go. So I'm gonna take and paint the white. I'm not even gonna bother masking that. I might try painting the roof white as well, just to see how it looks. I think that'd look really cool, some rust spots coming down. So we are going to paint it the Tamiya LP3 as I knock off every bottle in the house here. And for red, why this is rolling around, we're going to go LP21 Italian red. So I went ahead and painted the interior pieces Italian red. So I got the dash done. So that's all set. That's ready to go. And I did the door panels. So once these, say it's lacquer, I'm so used to enamel, like once these cure, we'll be good. But obviously they're good to go. So we're gonna get that put together. Now the seat, I'm actually gonna paint flat red. I'm gonna paint this in a flat red. So that is gonna get painted with the LP18, dull red, I'm sorry. Not flat red, it's dull red. And we're gonna get this painted and go from there. I'm going to get this white sprayed first, and we'll come back and shoot the red. So I got my white paint all mixed up. We are good to go. Okay guys, so we got our cab painted up. Like I said, I didn't bother masking that. I wasn't really worried about it. So we got our nice dented side here. Stuck it in the oven for a bit, and that dried out really nice. So I'm gonna wet sand this down here in a bit, but we're gonna get that red paint on there first. Started painting that hood. Get a couple coats on that because that is going over top of the brown. So I know when you get these color differences, I hope I don't get too much of a difference between this color here and the hood, but I will give the hood a few more shots just to make sure we're cool. So we're going to tape this up. So we're going to use some good old Tamiya, and it's looking pretty good right now. So I like to do, instead of wasting a lot of this Tamiya, I'll just basically go on the outline. I got my fancy gutter pieces here. I find these work really good. Now this here, obviously we don't care because that's getting, you know, it's funny, I painted that white earlier on. That was kind of waste. That was a waste. I do like that lacquer. I mean, it's already dry. It's good to go. No hassles. So I may take some bare metal foil and go across that. All said and done, but I want a nice clean line on it though. So I'll get this taped up, guys, and I'll bring you back. We'll go up from there. We'll get this painted. Okay guys, so we got this pretty much taped up here, almost ready to go. So I'll show you how I usually do this here. I mean, it's nothing new under the sun. Just kind of quick and easy. I just overlap this, and then I'll take my knife, and you can see our trim is here, and I'll keep it on the inside where the red's going to be. I'll just follow my knife along the trim. And voila. Get a nice sharp line there. Let's pull this out. And it's ready to go. All right, and we'll get that sprayed, and we'll come back to it. Alright guys, the mayhem continues. So, it turned out okay. Now the biggest thing is, how does it look? Did the tape hold up? Did we do a good job? This is the fun part. This is the part I love. This is just freshly sprayed. I don't put tape parts in my Susie Bake Oven. The reason for is sometimes I feel the tape can bake into the part. And apparently I didn't tape too good on the bottom there. You see it. But that's okay, because that's going to get weathered up anyways. So the red on this is actually still a little tacky. So I'm just trying to easy take this off. And then I'll put it in the oven once I peel it. Yeah, it looks nice. That looks pretty. Uh-oh. I see problems. I knew it. Little miss. I seen that. I seen the blue tape wasn't pushed down very tight. See how you get that weird spotting from tape? Now if I would have put that in the oven, that would have intensified that, like, oh my god. Like horrible. Ooh, I didn't think about the little holes. That's alright, we got marker lights. I'm gonna fill those in. So that looks pretty cool. Little beater truck. Okay, get that out of here. Now that can go in the oven and cure out for a little bit. So let's see how we did on the box side here. So far so good. Ooh, a little bleed under right there. Probably didn't push it down that hard. Because this is Tamiya tape, and Tamiya tape is usually pretty bulletproof. Most of these guys that use Tamiya, you know. Okay, so we have it. I didn't give the white that good of a coat like I did the red. The red, I thinned it down a little bit in the end and give me that super gloss. Why I did that? I don't know. I mean, it's a rust truck anyway, so we'll actually probably come back and dull that red out in a little bit here. So I'm going to take this. Oh yeah, she's still a little tacky. Eee. I don't want this on there. Okay. So we're going to set that in the oven. I think it looks pretty cool. And we'll go from there.